We are talking about sound energy today. That includes sound healing, sound music production, sound engineering. So we're gonna talk about a few of those things. We have some professionals on the line with us today. And a lot of our call is going to be open dialogue. We really want to use this time while we're all connected to exchange ideas, to share, and just to communicate and stay connected. So one of the things that helps us do that, if you're not speaking, we're asking everybody to make sure that your phone or your device is muted. That makes it easier for everyone to hear whoever is speaking or presenting at the time.
Again, welcome everyone. I'm so grateful to be here, and I wanted to say that Tumi and Lamont were remiss to say that they are also co-founders of GEEC, our Global Educational Exchange Coalition, and we are here to share. We're here to learn from each other and to support each other at a time such as this. So I'm going to just welcome in our ancestors. I'm going to welcome in us to be grateful and thankful for awakening. So if you can find a comfortable seated position, or you can come lying down on the floor, we're just going to begin with breathing. You can close your eyes or keep your eyes open, whatever you prefer. So as we begin this session, we begin with sound. As we begin this session, we begin by giving thanks. We begin by being in gratitude for our lives at this time, such as this, and all of those that are around us, outside of us, we give thanks. So as we take a nice deep breath in through the nostrils, this expands your lung capacity, this releases stale air, and this helps to relax the nervous system. At a time such as this, our nervous system is crucial to keep our immune system strong, to keep us strong, to fight a good fight. So as we are on this movement together, the Global Educational Exchange Coalition, we give thanks. So as we call the ancestors in, all of those that have come before us, all of the scientists and doctors and engineers to help with this issue that we're experiencing worldwide. The universe has a balance, and when it gets out of balance, it will shift to bring us back into balance, and that's what we're experiencing now. So as we go through this, may we see the good in it, as we come together with this technology to support one another around the globe. We give thanks for our lives individually, and we give thanks for our lives collectively. So take a nice deep breath in through the nose and release the breath through the nose. As you inhale, the belly expands like a big gigantic balloon. And as you exhale, you release the breath. So as we honor the ancestors and bring them into this space, we say thank you. Thank you, ancestors, upon whose shoulders we stand. And as we honor Women's History Month, I'm wearing my t-shirt that I see as power and as stillness, to honor the women that are in our lives. We all came through a woman. We say thank you for all the women on the planet. So as you take the next minute to just be still, and I will gift you with the Tibetan bowl sound as I allow for this bowl to sing. Continue to breathe in through the nostrils, breathing out through the nostrils. Gently inhale. Inhale through the nose. Expand the lungs, which helps to expand our endurance and our stamina We need that at a time such as this. Inhale more. Push the stale air out from the base of the lungs and expel more. Inhale more. Inhale more. And when we exhale, we'll release the sound. Ah. Sound helps to heal the body.
A lot of people know me as Emmett. As Denise said, I am one of the co-founders of the Global Education Exchange Coalition, or GEEC. And this coalition is one of the ways that we're connecting with students and educators from around the world. I'm also founder and CEO of the Swaliga Foundation. And what we do is STEAM education. So using the arts to learn about science, tech, engineering, and math. And that's one of the purposes for us being here today. Overall, it's just for us to connect and share, which is what we're about to do. But we're also here to learn and hopefully learn something new. I did want to briefly give everyone that's on the call a chance to share. We want this to be as interactive as possible. So obviously one of the big things that's happening right now is this global pandemic, right? So even though we're calling in from different countries around the world, we're all being affected by this one thing. So I did want to make sure that we gave everyone a chance to share how you're feeling during this time. If you're anxious, how this is affecting you. And, you know, one of the things we just heard from Ms. Denise was some solutions. We really want to talk about ways that we can continue to strengthen each other, continue to support each other during this time. So I'll go ahead and start. I know here in Washington, D.C., Maryland area, the amount of cases has risen. So they've closed all schools. All non-essential businesses are closed here. So life is a lot different for a lot of people right now. And I know me personally, I normally am working in schools. I'm not able to work the way that I normally do. So that's impacting my daily routine, impacting my job, the way that I make money. And that can be challenging for a lot of people. So one of the things that helps is being able to share, being able to talk about it and find different solutions. So I want to give everybody the opportunity now to just briefly kind of share how you're being affected, how you're feeling. I know one of the things that I do, which we just did, was meditate with Aunt Denise. I know starting your day like that actually helps to relieve some stress, any anxiety. It helps to keep me focused. I've been working on music a lot more, been creating a lot more while I have this time here at home to be still and to be centered. So I encourage everybody to use this time to find something that you love to do, or even if it's a hobby or something that you wanted to learn about, and begin to develop that skill right now while we have some time to be still. And of course, just connecting with family and resting. This is a perfect time to do that, you know, so I want to encourage everybody to do that. So right now I'm going to give other folks a chance to share. And again, if you can just start by saying your name and where you're calling in from, and then just kind of share how you're being impacted by this pandemic and how your country, your city, your area is being impacted. And everybody doesn't have to speak. This is voluntary, of course, but we would like to hear from you. So I see Dr. Isaiah. Would you like to share?
Yes.
And get started? Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Isaiah. I'm a clinical psychology specialist. I'm talking from Rwanda in East Africa, especially in Kigali City. So thank you, Denise, for this very interesting and wonderful conversation we had. So I'm really thankful for this session because it's very, very helpful, especially for this pandemic situation we are in. So briefly, if I can just share the situation in my country, Rwanda. So all the citizens now, we are requested to be inside the house. So we are not allowed to move. There's no movement. All the schools are closed. All public and private activities are now temporarily closed. so that we can deal with the situation for avoiding the spread of the COVID-19. So this has been affected not only on a personal level as well as to the countrywide, because the school closed, as I said, the job closed, and now the families are requested to live together, and even some of the citizens, they have a lower income because they are able to feed their family because they had work. But now they are not working, which means that there's a lot of pressure for the parents as well as for the authorities to see how they can manage this. Then the session for a kind of meditation, sound using for healing as well as for relaxation, it's very important because all people, they are now into house. We have a lot of fear, even though they are not affected. For example, now in Rwanda, we have 54 COVID-19 confirmed cases. So, but all of us, we have fear, saying if I'm not affected, maybe tomorrow I can be affected. If I'm not affected, maybe my neighbor can be affected, my colleague can be affected. Then even we have a lot of questions inside. When this will be ending? Is it next month? Is it 2 months? How about job? Especially as I'm working with the youth and the children, there is also a challenge of the kids asking many questions. So what is coronavirus? So are you sick of it? There is many problems and the pressure from this pandemic, and this is why people, personally, I'm the coordinator of Rwanda Psychological Society in Kigali City. So we have a lot of work to work with the community to be sure that they have relevant information and also they know how to cope with the situation, because we are in an unusual situation and this changes the lifestyle. For example, I'm now working from home. So I used to work from Monday to Friday going to the office, but now I'm obliged to work. Maybe you have seen a kid near me asking a question where I'm working on the computer. These are different challenges we are facing, and how can we just work at home, continue to life despite the challenges of COVID? So there is a lot of stress, there is a lot of information in mind. When you are following in a social media, then you hear that in Italian, many people are dying, in the UK, in the US. So, you start having fear.
I like to throw a pop quiz in there for the youngsters.
Okay.
Which of the students can tell us the youngest person that has passed away from COVID-19?
Oh, Jay on the chat, Jay says 5 years old. I haven't researched that. Is that true? Answer, Mr. Ephraim?
I thought it was 16 in Los Angeles, but every day we're hearing something new. I just wanted the youth to know it's not prejudice among age. So it could be 5 years old, it could be 70 years old. So we all can be affected.
And where are you calling in from, Mr. Ephraim? Can you briefly introduce yourself while we have you?
Okay, I'm Ephraim Jernigan, calling from Houston, Texas. I run a STEM program called the STEM Foundation, and we just joined GEC a couple of years ago, and we've been to South Africa with the group in Washington, D.C. Just happy to be a part.
Excellent, and we're grateful to have you. So what we're gonna do now is play a game. This is Kahoot. A lot of our students may be familiar with Kahoot already. How this is gonna work, I'm gonna share my screen right now, and what you're gonna see is a game code pop up. There are gonna be numbers that pop up, and all you have to do is go to a website, Kahoot, KAHOOT.IT. Use that for a second. And this game pin, these numbers, it'll ask you to put these numbers in. And as soon as you put those numbers in, it'll ask you to input your name. If we could get possibly first name and a nickname. I know a lot of people like to put nicknames and things like that, but we want to know who's answering, because this is a way that we're able to track what we're learning. Okay. So if anybody has any trouble, please put it in the chat. But again, you can everybody see my screen first? Can everybody see that?
Yep.
I'm gonna make it a little bigger. If the screen is small, you may want to click. If you click my picture, it'll make the screen bigger so that you can see that. If you click my picture, it'll make the screen bigger. But those numbers right there, as you can see, it says go to www.kahoot.it, or if you have the Kahoot app. And then as soon as you go there, you can just put these numbers in that are on the screen, the 130-5861. So we're waiting for a couple of players to join us. Okay, see, we got Jay on the board. Got our first player. Again, all you have to do is go to kahoot.it.
Hey, Lamont, can Micah play?
Yeah, sure, please. The more the merrier. All right, here we go. If you weren't able to get in, it's okay. You can follow along. Again, the game pin is at the bottom of the screen, so that'll pop up as well. First question says, light is faster than sound. Is that true or false? Is light faster than sound? Is that true or false? Take your best guess. You got answers rolling in. Cool, people haven't answered yet. Okay. Question is, light is faster than sound. Is that true or false? Okay, so the correct answer is true. If you answer true, you were correct. Light is faster than sound. And we'll talk about why a little later. But understand that light is the fastest thing that we know about in this universe. So sound is very fast. Light is faster than sound. Okay, excellent job, everybody. We're gonna move to question number 2. What is sound? And this is one that we did answer on the call. Is it red, a vibration? Is it blue, a wave? Is it yellow, energy? Or is it green, all of the above? Take your best guess. What is sound? If you're just watching, playing at home, I want you thinking about your answer as well. Okay, we got some different answers. Now, the correct answer is all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. So if you answered one of the other questions, you are correct. Sound is a vibration. Sound is a wave. We've heard of sound waves, right? Sound moves in a wave pattern. And sound is also energy. That's one of the things that Denise mentioned while she was doing our sound healing exercise of how we can change our energy with sound. So the correct answer is all of the above. But the simplest thing to remember is that sound is a vibration. It vibrates through many different mediums, air, water. Sound is a vibration at its most fundamental property. Okay. Racking up these points here on the leaderboard. All right, question number 3. We're moving right along. This one is ×2, double the points. What is the smallest bone in the human body? What is the smallest bone in the human body? This is a tough question. This is a tough question. This is for twice the points. Is it red key, answer key, hammer? Is it the blue answer key, stirrup? Is it the yellow answer key, the pinky bone? Is it the green answer key, your eardrum? Want everybody to take your best guess on what do you think is the smallest bone in the human body? Take your best guess. There we go. Okay. Yes. Yes. So we have answer split. Some people said eardrum, some people said stirrup. The correct answer is stirrup. Okay, so we even gave you a little hint right here. You see this picture where my mouse key is? These small, tiny bones, there's 3 of them, called the ossicles. Everybody say ossicles. That whole section right there is called the ossicles. And these 3 bones, they vibrate. So even right now, as I'm speaking, going into the computer, coming out your computer or your phone speaker, and then vibrating these 3 little tiny bones in your ear. And the smallest bone of those 3 right there is called the stirrup. It's a really tiny bone that vibrates, hits the anvil, hits the hammer, and then vibrates on your eardrum. Your eardrum is like a soft, more tissue type material that's inside your ear, and that's how we hear sound. Very cool. We'll talk more about that later, but the correct answer was stirrup. Word of the day, smallest bone in the human body. Okay, we're racking up the points. It's a close one. Question number 4. We're gonna keep it moving. This is for twice the points as well. Difficult question. Sound moves fastest through which state of matter? I'll repeat it again. Sound moves the fastest through which state of matter? Is it the red answer key, solid? Is it the blue answer key, liquid? Is it the yellow answer key, gas? Is it the green answer key, plasma? Now these are all of the states of matter. Sound can move through every state of matter, but which one does it move the fastest through? Think about that. 5 seconds left. Take your best guess. Get those answers in. Okay, so everyone guessed gas, which is a great hypothesis. That's a great guess. Sound moves through air at a speed of about 343 meters per second, which is super fast. However, the correct answer was solid. I'm gonna share why in a quick second. You see these cylinders with these little blue dots in them? These blue dots, we're gonna pretend that those are molecules. This is what we're made up of, little tiny molecules or pieces of matter. Now, what I want you to notice, in this bin all the way to the left, they're really tight, close together. And this bin all the way to the right, they're a little farther apart. I hope everybody can see that. Now, the one on the right that's farther apart, those are gas molecules. So they're spread out a little bit farther apart. Now, if that's gas, then this one where they're a little bit closer must be liquid. And then this one all the way to the left must be what? Solid, packed in really tight. Yeah, so one thing to remember about sound, it has to go from molecule to molecule, or blue dot to blue dot in order to translate that vibration. So as you can imagine, the closer those blue dots are, the closer those molecules are, the faster that sound or that vibration can move. So I want you to think about like when you hear loud bass music playing and you can hear it vibrating on the concrete, or if you're yelling across the room or you're beating on the table, that vibration or that sound will travel just a little bit faster than if it's moving through air, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but the correct answer was solid. Sound moves fastest through solid states of matter. All right, nobody got that one, so we're still locked in on our points. Moving right along to question number 5. Here we go. A sound bath is a relaxation technique and meditative experience whereby participants engage in sound waves. Is that true or false? We got about 40 seconds left. Something that Miss Denise shared when we first jumped on our call. What is a sound bath? All right, 5 seconds left. Take your best guess. Yes, the correct answer was true. A sound bath is a relaxation technique and meditative experience whereby participants bathe in the sound waves produced. And in this case, we saw Miss Denise use a Tibetan sound bowl. All right, so we'll talk more about that later. Excellent. Points rolling in. We are on question number 6. We're more than halfway done. Here we go. True or false? Sound is a longitudinal wave. True or false? Sound is a longitudinal wave. If you don't question 2, 1. The correct answer was true. We're about halfway split. The correct answer is true. Sound is a longitudinal wave. Longitudinal is just a fancy word for moving in a straight line, like this slinky, right? Like this slinky, if I were to pinch one side and let it go, it can't go wider than the slinky, but that wave, you will still see travel from one ring to the next. And that's how sound moves, which is why it's slightly slower, just a little bit slower than light, because light moves in a transverse wave. And we'll talk about that at a different time. Excellent. For the people that got that right, that was a difficult question. Very hard question. All right, question number 7. True or false? Again, sound is not a type of energy. You got to read that carefully. We talked about it. Sound is not a type of energy. Is that a true statement or a false statement? 5 seconds left. Here we go. Okay. Correct answer was false. Because we are smart and we know that sound is a type of energy. There are many different types: thermal, electrical, electromagnetic, many different types. Sound is a type of energy. All right, we got a couple questions left. This question number 8. What is an echo? What is an echo? Is it red answer key, a really loud sound? Is it blue answer key, a sound shadow? Is it yellow answer key, when a sound wave bounces off a surface? Or is it green answer key, a product from Amazon? Green. Okay, we got answers for all of those. The correct answer, however, is that an echo is when a sound wave bounces off of a surface. When a sound wave bounces off of a surface. So where you are now, if you're in a room that has walls, which most of us probably are, when you clap, if you listen, it happens really fast. You can hear that sound bounce off the wall and come back to your ears. Now, if you're in a really big room with high ceilings, that echo sounds a lot louder, okay? But essentially an echo is just when a sound wave bounces off a surface. That's all it is. So excellent for those that were able to get that one correct. We got 2 questions left. We're wrapping up. This one is worth twice the points. It's a very tough question. Take your best guess. How is an echo used in everyday life? How is an echo used in everyday life? Now we see this, we may not be aware of it, but we see this quite often. Now, red answer key, underwater sonar. Blue answer key, endocardiography. Yellow answer key, sonogram. Green answer key, all of the above. Now, I know these are some big words. If you don't know what they mean, it is okay. Remember, most people do not know what these words mean, but that's why we're here, to learn. Excellent. Most people said all of the above using context clues. Okay. So, for those that don't know, sonar, think submarine. What submarines use when they're deep underwater as a mapping system, they use sonar, which is basically an echo. They send out a vibration or a pulse, it bounces back, and it bounces off of every surface underwater so they can tell where their position is. Endocardiography, that's a mouthful. Endocardiography, that is a technique used to graph and take pictures of our heart. So we can't necessarily take a camera and just go inside and take a picture of it. But when we're getting a checkup at the doctor, sometimes they'll do an endocardiography, which basically means they're using vibrations or echo, similar to sonar, to take a picture or create an image of your heart. The last one was sonogram. If anybody has seen a picture of, like, it looks well, they actually look really detailed now, but that's how they are able to see babies. When a woman is pregnant, they take a sonogram, and that machine uses echo. It just uses vibration, and that little thing that they put on the stomach is what allows them to create that picture of that image. Okay, so excellent job for everybody getting that one correct. This is our last question. We're wrapping up. Last question. What other ways can humans use sound? This is a tricky question. Is it red, answer key, drive a boat? Is it blue, answer key, to cook food? Is it yellow, answer key, sound healing therapy? Or is it green, answer key, all of the above? All right, we were split. The correct answer was sound healing therapy. If anybody out there has an invention on how to cook food with sound or drive a boat with sound, I want to know about it because that sounds really cool, but we don't have that yet. That doesn't exist quite yet that I know of. The correct answer was sound healing therapy, and we got to see that at the beginning of our call when Aunt Denise did a sound bath for us. Okay, that is our game for today. Thank you everyone for playing. You're looking at our leaderboard right now. Congratulations, Josiah. Congratulations, Jay. Congratulations, Micah. We got our runners up right there. Everybody did a great job. This was a very difficult game. Some of those questions were tough. So we'll talk about that more a little bit later. Turn off the sound share. Okay, excellent. So that was our Kahoot on sound. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. We are slightly over time. It's about 11:15, 15 minutes past the hour here. So we're gonna be wrapping up really soon. We usually like to end with a Q&A. Is there anyone that has any questions about something that you heard on our call today? Something that we just saw in our Kahoot game and our quiz, something you had a question about? Anything relating to sound or sound energy, or even a comment or a suggestion, idea? Now is the time. The floor is yours. We want to hear from you. Any questions? Everybody's muted right now, so if you want to ask a question, you're gonna have to unmute yourself and ask your question, or of course you can put it in our chat. You can click the chat button at the bottom and ask your question, and I'll read it from there. Anybody? Any questions?
Mr. Emmett.
Yes, sir.
I didn't really get the solid.
Okay.
The solid and gas part.
The solid and gas part. So here, let me see if I can. All right, now what we have here are ping pong balls. Check this out really fast. So remember we saw those blue dots on the screen? And we're pretending that those are molecules or cells. That's what we're made up of. So these little blue dots transmit sound. Meaning, if this one right here starts vibrating really fast, if it hears a sound, then that is gonna go tell the next dot and make that one vibrate at the same frequency, but it has to touch it in order to transmit that vibration. Now this one is gonna vibrate and it's gonna touch the one next to it, and that's gonna vibrate. Now, when it's a solid or something that is solid, like a table, your device, the floor, something solid that can transmit sound, the molecules are really close. The balls are really close like that. They're rigid, they don't move a lot. So it doesn't take long for them to vibrate the next sound. Now, if they're liquid, they're a little farther apart, right? Liquid can move and change shape, even though we can see it. They're close enough that we can see those water or liquid molecules, but they're still farther apart. So it takes a little bit more time to get to that next molecule. Now, if it's a gas or air, like the air in the room that we're breathing, they're even farther apart. So that molecule has to get that vibration. It vibrates, but it has to go all the way over here to get the next one, and then all the way over here. So it takes a little bit longer to vibrate or transmit sound in a gas versus a solid when things are packed very tight. Did that make sense, Josiah? Did that help at all? You might be muted. I can't hear you, Josiah.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Excellent.
God still save me.